Hey guys, since the last video about Cities Skylines 2 was so well appreciated by you, and so many of you showed your own cool ideas in the comments, I thought I would present them in this video. But before we get to the first ideas from you, I want to thank you again for all the likes and views on the last video. By the way, I have Patreon and Instagram now. You can support me starting from $1 a month and then be mentioned at the end of the videos. If you are interested in following me on Instagram or donating on Patreon, you can check out the first two links in the description. But now to your ideas. First of all, we have the idea that the zoning tool should now also include medium zoning, which I think would be great, because it always irritated me in Cities Skylines that they had built skyscrapers dozens of meters high right next to a small single-family home settlement. This always resulted in trying to somehow build some sort of buffer zone between suburbia and downtown when building a city. With medium zoning, that problem could be solved. Also regarding zoning, instead of the usual 4 living, retail, industrial, and office zones, the wish would also be to make a mixed zone. This is also a great idea, since outside the US it is already common anyway, almost everywhere in the world, and especially in Europe to have in residential buildings on the first floor, for example a small store. It would add even more realism to the cities. The map you see here is, by the way, from creativeDEX and is called Lindblum. I have added the link to his channel and the Steam link to the map in the video description. Another posted wish was to be able to build religious buildings. I would find the idea pretty cool too, especially if Paradox fulfills my wish with more regions in the world to build in. Religious buildings of all religions could be a great addition there to give the cities in the different regions more of the character of their region. That the pedestrian friendliness of your city and the frequency of cycling should have an impact on the health statistics is also one of your wishes that I find good. It should be generally paid attention to bring movement in connection with health more into play, because that is also in real life for urban planning an increasingly important part to consider. More buildings for sports, like an indoor swimming pool, a basketball court, or buildings for other sports could also help here. One of the most underestimated ways to get around in Cities Skylines 1 was walking, and it was a good idea to make your city as pedestrian-friendly as possible to avoid exhausting traffic planning. One of your wishes here was to have more statistics on the use of pedestrian facilities similar to those of bicycles. In general, according to your wishes, there should be a lot of changes in traffic. One of the best ideas was to customize the streets more easily and to adapt them to your personal wishes, but also making parking problems a new gameplay mechanic using parking garages and parking regulations like parking tickets was a good idea. Introducing HOV lanes as a new option besides bus and bike lanes was again an idea that could give the game more realism. But the best wish was clearly to finally put an end to pocket cars and introduce realistic traffic development, and no longer have cars just plop on or plop off during traffic jams. But also, to be able to adapt the education system more to the job market in your city was a wish of yours. Here you could use trade and business schools for industrial jobs and universities for office and commercial jobs. And while we're on the subject of industry, it was also a wish of yours to be able to specialize the industries better than in the first part where you could only choose between 4 types. Conceivable here would be new special industries, such as the car, steel, or even chemical industry. This would definitely make the management of production in a city better and a little more complex. So that's it for your ideas for Cities Skylines 2. What do you think of these ideas? Do you think they would be good or bad additions to Cities Skylines 2? Anyway, thanks to everyone who brought ideas to this video with their wishes and ideas. Thanks for watching. See you next time.